Hello, boys and girls. Mrs. Steve here. It's Fido Day 35. It's Monday, May 11th. And you might be wondering why I am looking at my computer instead of just a piece of printed out paper. And there's a really good reason for that. The reason is that this is the document that I emailed your parents for this week's Fido Math work. And today's work is not in our book. It actually is on two different PDF files that are right here. They're linked right here. See how I click on them and it shows you the link? Okay. The first file is called Document 1. It's a reference sheet. And the second file is called Document 2. It's task cards. So allow me just 1 second. It might get a little bit crooked here because I have to hit Control. And as soon as I hold down Control, see how my cursor turns to a little hand? I know you know this. If you click on that, you can follow my link. You'll get this warning, and it's just telling you, hey, Mrs. Steve put a virus in this link. Your computer, your phone, your tablet might be in trouble. But don't worry, I didn't put a virus in that link, I promise you. And it opens up like this, and you'll see there's 3 pages. But really, you only need to look at like the first or the second. The first and the second are exactly the same. So if you like the blue and the black border, use this one. If you like the green and the yellow, use page 2. And this is just a summary of page 915 over here, where we give our triangle its first name based off of its sides. And this is a summary of the key concept chart on 916, where we give it its last name based off of angles. So if you want to keep this out in front of you, you have to do one of 2 things. You either have to print page 1 or page 2, or you can turn in your math books to page 915, 916. That's up to you. Okay? Either one, though, is fine with me. Any of those 3 options. If you don't have a printer, use your math book. Okay? You can also keep this open and switch back and forth. So I'm going to come back down here. This is the Word document that I sent your parents again. And I'm going to Control and click on the task cards. And again, I get that same warning. If you follow this link, it might be a problem. It's not going to be a problem. I promise. And you're going to get an 8-page document that opens up called Classifying Triangles Task Cards. And you'll see it's created by this person called Teaching 5th grade, I'm pretty sure is what it is. And you'll see here that as you scroll down or as you pan down, depending on what kind of a device you're using. Again, you don't have to print this out. You can print it out, but you don't have to. But you're going to see on page 2, it starts with these task cards. And you'll see each card is numbered here. Like this is number 1. And then 2, 3, and 4. I did give you guys a answer sheet paper. But if you, like me, maybe you don't have a printer, or maybe you don't have a ink in your printer, you're going to be able to use just a regular old lined piece of paper. So we've got our 2 documents up. We've got our little reference sheet, which was document 1. And over here, you can click and you have your cards. Now, if you're on a device, it might look a little bit different. If you are on a phone, it might also look a little bit different. Okay? But you probably know how to navigate that better than me. I'm going to go back down to the Word document that I sent to your parents. And right here, I tell them they can print out this answer sheet. And if you click that answer sheet, it'll come up and you could print it out. Or like I'm going to do, you can just number a piece of paper from 1 to 28. So I'm going to take a moment right now and do that, okay? And I'm actually going to, I did 1 through 14, and then I'm going to come back up to here, and I'm going to, oh, my little earbuds are in the way. There we go. I'm going to start with 15 and do 15 down to 28 on a piece of paper. And you can be doing this along with me. If I go faster, you can always pause it. And then when you have your 28 lines numbered, just like that, you can play the video again. Okay, so I did number 2. I didn't print out the answer sheet, but I numbered the piece of paper 1 to 28. Now number 3. Watch Mrs. Steve is going to complete a few examples. I sure am, boys and girls. So we're going to go back to the task cards. Okay, there they are. And I'm going to answer task cards numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So number 1 says, classify the triangle by its sides. And if I look, this has 1 line, this has 2. If it has 1 line and this has 2, that means they're not equal. And this one has 3 lines. So that means this one, and this one are all different lengths. So if I use page 915 or my little resource chart here, no sides are equal in length on a, right here at the top, scalene triangle. So number 1, when I classify that using its sides, I'm going to write down scalene. And you should do the same thing. Number 1, scalene. And you can always put the little triangle symbol instead of writing out triangle. Here we go. Number 2. Classify the triangle by its angles. Now, right here, I see that this looks like the letter L. It has one of those boxes to tell me that they mean it to equal exactly 90 degrees. So when I go to my page 916 or my reference sheet here, I'm looking for one angle is a right angle, and that's a right triangle. So number 2 is right triangle. Go ahead and mark that down on your paper. Now we're going to look at number 3. Number 3 is showing us, look, this has 1 line and that has 1 line. That means this side and this side are the same length. The bottom, though, the base of this triangle has 2 lines. That means that it is not the same as these 2 sides that are. So 2 of the sides are equal. You can go to 915 or you can go to our reference sheet. 2 sides are equal. 2 sides are equal, isosceles triangle. Isosceles. So number 3 is isosceles triangle. And if not for anything else, you have your book or your reference sheet, it's to be able to spell isosceles, because really, I mean, the mathematicians couldn't have thought of like an easier name than isosceles. All right, and number 4, take a look, classify the triangle by its angles. Now, this looks like the letter V, this looks like the letter V, this looks like the letter V. And if you remember, V angles are acute angles. They're less than 90 degrees. So all 3 angles are less than 90 degrees. All 3 angles are acute. Here it is. All angles are acute. It's an acute triangle. So on my paper, number 4, acute. So you guys, like I said, we numbered it 1 through 28. That's because as you continue to scroll down, you're going to see there's more and more and more. And it seems like the odd numbers are asking you to classify it by its sides, like number 5 and number 7. The even, 6 and 8, are by its angles. So for the odd numbers, oh, but then it changes. So it really seems like you're going to have to read these carefully. If it wants to know by its angles, you're going to use page 916, or you're going to use this side of the reference sheet. If it wants to know by its sides, you're going to use page 915 or this side of your reference sheet. If you get stuck, email me. I am just an email away. I'll be happy to look at the one that you're stuck on and try to do my best to explain it for you. And I'll even be able to call you if you really get stuck. But use your reference sheets, use a lined piece of paper, and have this opened up. And if you don't want to use this reference sheet, you can always use book page 915, 916. You're going to end up, let's go back down to our Word document. So once you do all 28, which I already did number 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, after you get done with the next 24, you're going to send a picture of it to me and email it to me. Numbers 1 through 28. So you're going to take a picture of this once it's all filled out, or the printed out answer sheet if that's what you chose to do. You're going to take a picture of it and email it to me, amanda.steve@westernbeaver.org. Take care, boys and girls. Email me if you have any questions, or email me just to say, hey, I miss you all very much. Take care. Bye-bye.